This is Rob Kramarz, founder of IntelliVersity, and we're here with another very interesting company that illustrates some of the team building and organizational principles that we've been teaching. The company is Nascent Biologics, and I have to my right, I have Mark Glassy, who's the CEO of Nascent Biologics, and Charlie Sir from the Scripps Research Institute, whose lab provided the basic technology in use by Nascent Biologics. The company was formed in summer of 2007. We're going to get into that in a moment. I just want to remind you that this is an educational video. This is not an offer to sell securities or a solicitation for you to buy securities. It's provided to you as an entrepreneur and or you as an investor as an educational experience to find out what really works in building successful teams that get funded and that go on to success in business. The focus lately, as you know, has been in the area of life sciences, and this is one of the really interesting companies. Let me have you guys begin this process by each of you take 30 seconds. This is a challenge. You can take a little more than that, but I prefer 30 seconds. And in your own words, they weren't briefed on this, give me an elevator pitch of what Nascent Biologics does and who it serves. Elevator pitch.
The mission is simple. We want to cure cancer, and there are a number of ways of doing it. Our immune response is a driver that does all that. We have a lead product called Pratumumab, which we've gone through phase 2 trials. 250 brain cancer patients have been treated in Japan. We want to bring that technology here to the United States and go through the FDA and do trials here. Our platform technology is based on cytokine interactions of the immune system, our natural response, and we can either boost or inhibit that by using a number of antibody approaches. And this is a way of taking our natural responses and using to benefit our own immune health.
All right, thank you very much. Charlie, how would you describe the mission of
I would say concur with what Mark said, but I would want to emphasize the fact that we are trying to naturally manipulate and boost the immune system so we could take advantage of all the basic properties and basic strength of the natural immune system without using chemicals and harsh drugs to boost in a way that will give either a treatment for cancer or amelioration of autoimmune disease or other inflammatory diseases.
Yeah, a simple way of saying this is cure disease without a scalpel.
All right, cure disease without a scalpel. Sounds intriguing. Monoclonal antibodies have been around for, well, in the actual pharmaceutical industry for at least 5-7 years.
Oh, it's been since the 80s, the first one.
Well, the first one's actually, first was improved in the 80s. So what makes your technology different than the other antibody-based technology?
2 key elements. One is that, as Charlie was saying earlier, this is a natural immune response. So it's a natural antibody that our own bodies developed and made itself.
I see.
The second, which is probably more important than that, is where it goes. It's the target. As the saying goes in real estate, it's location, location, location. Well, in the antibody business, it's target, target, target. Where does the antibody go? Where is the antigen that it recognizes expressed? And that's the key point of how these things work. And just recently, many of these targets have been worked out through other systems such as mouse or other species, and that's where some of the antibodies are kind of retrofitted, shave the square peg to get into the round hole. It's kind of a fit, but maybe not a natural fit. Whereas in our case, using the natural immune response and the natural components of that, we have indeed a square peg in the square hole, and it's a precise fit. And I think that's why ultimately, at the end of the day, when you see the antibody technologies, those that come from the natural immune response, I think will be better served and benefit mankind than those that are not.
I know I have a personal experience involved in your business, which is my own mother, who has adenocarcinoma in a metastatic phase, and she's under treatment and care, and the physician, the team that's treating her, estimates that the likelihood of response to the antibody treatment that she's receiving is about 12%, which is better than nothing, but it's depressingly low. What's exciting about, well, you tell me, what's different and exciting about the results?
Sure, and I can underscore what you're saying. There's a popular antibody drug, Herceptin, which is now used in many of the breast cancer patients. And when you look at all the statistics that's been used over the years, 20% of the patients benefit. Okay, hey, great, 20%. What about the other 80%? That's the problem. And it's not enough. So again, it gets back to what Nascent is doing with our natural immune response. Our antibody, pertuzumab, literally recognizes nearly 100% of all the cells that express the antigen. So this is a clearly much better case than 20% or 12%.
Yeah.
You know, to me those numbers are unacceptable. They're unacceptable. Our bodies naturally do things itself, and our task is to understand the components, things like Professor Sir has been doing with his team over the years, looking at what our natural components do, and now we're going to know what those are. Now we're going to commercialize them to make sure that our bodies can benefit, or health-wise, from them.
Now, what kind of results, I know your product has gone through some human trials in Japan. What are the results you're getting in response?
Yes, this is for brain cancer, and for standard therapy, after 5 years, the survival rate is 3%, which means 97% have died. And again, that's unacceptable. And the FDA calls this an unmet need. There's no therapy available, whether it's surgery, radiation, drugs, or any combination of those have been effective at all. Whereas pertuzumab, we've looked at 250 patients with brain cancer. After 5 years, the average is 28% survival. And that's a 9-fold increase over standard
So it's
therapy.
not 28% response, it's 28% survival.
That's correct. Right. Survival.
That's survival, that's amazing.
After 5 years.
I want to give Charlie a chance to say, you've were instrumental as principal investigator in developing this technology. As a scientist, in your own words, why is this exciting to you? Why is this important to you?
Well, my contribution to the company is a platform technology which is different from pertuzumab,
Okay.
but it actually is to take advantage of the cytokines. And cytokines are these soluble growth factors that actually enhances function and activity of different population of lymphocytes, especially T cells, which are one of the main drivers of anti-tumor activity, the natural anti-tumor activity in the body. And cytokines been around for many years, and we know the power and the potential of these cytokines. Yet, many of the actual potential is yet to be realized because we don't really know exactly how they work inside the body, and just administering them doesn't seem to replicate what's inside the body. But we found a technology to actually modify the cytokines using the antibody, and then kind of deliver it in a way that is so much more potent than just injecting the cytokine alone. But not only that, you could actually target these cytokines to different cell types, different population of T cells,
Yes.
so that you could either drive the cells to create inflammation, or you could actually suppress the immune
it.
response.
So-
So that's actually core of our technology.
There's a lot of interesting material in what you just presented. What you're implying is that Nascent Biologics has the potential of building on the platform technology to create a number of products that treat a number of different cancer types and potentially make a very large impact on the success rate of cancer treatment.
Yes.
That's very interesting, and it must be exciting for you. We're going to return in just a moment with a discussion of what's obviously really mostly on your mind, which is what has their experience been in receiving and seeking funding, and what can they teach us all about the funding process? Be right back.